Today's episode is brought to you by DNA Sports Training. If you or someone you know wants to take their game to the next level, then hit up DNA Sports Training. Visit DNASportsDenver.com to book a training session. We offer specialized sports training from football to track and field and everything else in between. Whether you're an offensive or defensive lineman wanting to get better off the ball, or you are an athlete wanting to improve your speed and agility, we have something for you over at DNA. Visit DNASportsDenver.com now and sign up.
Yo, yeah.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, everyone? We didn't cancel ourselves yet, and we haven't done anything to be canceled yet, so good job.
We're still here with you. Hey, while we're here, don't forget to go to our website, visit DNA Sports Denver, buy you some merch, book a session, listen to a podcast, or just give us an overall review of what you think of the podcast. Hit the mailbag question up, give us some questions, just give us some overall love. Like, follow, share, subscribe, all of our social media platforms. Visit DNASportsDenver.com.
Bam, Dom got it right there, just in a mouthful.
Yeah. Pause.
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, brother. It's a beautiful morning.
Football's on, I see.
Football
you got some ball going.
Is on early. You know that I was kind of talking with Vita, and we were talking about these international games that we have a lot in the NFL now. Do you think that it's only a matter of time before we get an international team?
Maybe. I was just reading about a plane they're trying to introduce that'll get you from New York to London in like 90 minutes, something like that.
I'm not getting on that.
It's like a hypersonic plane, bro. I just saw it. I'm always like finding these weird ass stories and whatnot. But yeah, they've got jets that'll get you there in like 4 hours, 3-4 hours now. Like that Concorde, I forget what it gets you. I should probably Google it, but before giving it fake news. But I mean, they get you there pretty quickly. Take a 8-hour flight and make it a 4-hour flight.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine getting there in 90 minutes. So that would be a little quicker than maybe I might be comfortable for. But who knows? I've never been on a flight longer than 6 hours anyway.
Yeah, so that sounds like major motion sickness to me.
You get sick on a plane?
No, but if I got there across the country or across the world in 90 minutes, bro, it's like
face be back in your neck.
That ride at any amusement park or carnival where you get stuck to the wall like
outside.
I forget what it's called.
The mine shaft.
The mine shaft.
Or the road, like what was it? Like they have the flower one that looks like a flower. But yeah, I remember the mine shaft over at Illich's, bro.
That's how it would feel.
Dude, I used to see these kids that get like upside down and shit doing stupid stuff. They had one like that up in Glenwood Springs, and like last year or the year before that, a little girl died because they weren't she wasn't like properly put into it. Or yeah, those things are crazy. Now that I think about it as an adult, like getting on that stuff, dude, nah, so I'm good. Like there's no reason to do so, bro. Like it's just I'm cool. I'm cool. You do you, boo boo.
Yeah.
Yo, so just to catch up on some things, man. Last week we were talking about not only, did Richard Jefferson get in? I hope he did. Sorry. Don't mean to sidetrack y'all. We're getting distracted. But last week we were talking about Aaron Judge. We talked about a little bit about Brett Favre. So if you haven't checked that episode, go check it out. If you know from a few episodes before that, we've been following Aaron Judge and his thing. He finally hit his 61st home run to match Roger Maris. Yep. And so now he's one away from, and he still hasn't got it. I think he's got a couple more chances, but one away from hitting that 62nd. And so big ups to Aaron Judge. It was kind of cool. They did it in Toronto, so he hit it into the bullpen, so you didn't have to worry about a fan getting the ball and then trying to sell it back to him. So it looks like he'll have that ball for free. But yeah, it was a big shot. Roger Maris Jr. was there to kind of embrace. Aaron Judge's mom was there, so it was kind of cool. Yankees been kind of bringing them along.
Yeah, hey, good for him, man. Hopefully he, continues to get his opportunity to kind of put his name in the record books solely, independently, you know what I mean, instead of sharing a spot. But either way, he's there. So shout out to him. Favre.
Dude, Favre is a whole nother story. That man keeps burying himself. So I don't know if you've seen something I shared on IG on our page, but it's come out now that Brett Favre's charity, which is supposed to be aimed at helping disadvantaged children and cancer patients, apparently they donated $130,000 to the USM Athletic Foundation, while he still pushed for state funds. So now there's some uproar about that because that's obviously misleading your donors, telling you where their money's supposed to go. So if you haven't listened to last week's episode, I definitely encourage you to go do so, because we definitely dive into the whole Brett Favre debacle, and we dive into Aaron Judge chasing history, becoming a part of the 60 home run club, and then something we didn't touch on too much last week, Dom, and then it kind of, with the Thursday night football game, it kind of come up again. But man, Tua looked bad, bro. He got injured pretty good, dude.
Yeah, speaking of burying themselves, that medical professional definitely buried himself in this one. I just don't understand how they didn't take the precautionary approach with this when putting him back out there. I mean, he was obviously lethargic with that hit, and he couldn't really stand. He didn't have having trouble walking. Like, regardless of whether it was his back or his head at that point, you should treat it as a head at that point to protect him, keep him out. I mean,
I get wanting to beat Buffalo, and he was very instrumental in helping, but that's your future, dude. Like, it's one thing if you don't see, I hate to say it like this, but it's one thing if it's like your backup, or if it's somebody you don't see having for years going forward. But they drafted Tua with the idea that this guy was going to grow into be that franchise quarterback. And I don't know about you, but when I think franchise quarterback, I think 10, 15 years. I think whole career in that place, or the majority of their career in that place. And they're treating it as if he's not that dude or something, man. I just don't get it.
Yeah, man, I don't get it. And they're acting like, I mean, obviously this week they had no choice, and they put Bridgewater in, and they were confident behind Bridgewater, but they're acting like they had no confidence in him beforehand. Like, they should have just went with Bridgewater, and Tua wouldn't be in the situation he's in, and now they're going to have to miss probably multiple games, as he gets better, and hopefully they do it properly to where they don't put him out there too soon and he re-aggravates it, because either one of those situations did not look good at all.
No.
And for an athlete, man, you really got to worry about his well-being, because he's going to want to play for his team.
And they put him in an even worse situation, because everyone knows that if you get a concussion while being concussed, that it's worse. Like, it could be deadly. You know what I mean? And they did him no favors. They put him in a worse position than he was previously with that. If they'd have just kept him out the game Sunday, finished with Bridgewater. It's a short week. Let Bridgewater go, start. He's a professional. He looked good when he came in. I mean, he did typical Bridgewater things. Like, the drive stalled out. They weren't good in the red zone. But at the same time, man, like, this is a marathon and not a sprint. And I know the NFL league isn't like, basketball or baseball where it's, 6 months long and you got a whole bunch of games in that time. You got 17 games that you got to play. But at the same time, man, you got to run it like you're running the 800, and just, if you have to pick up speed at the end, you got to do that, dude. Like,
the Bengals have been known for being a chippy team throughout years. Do you think that hit that he took was a little bit excessive?
I don't think it was a legal hit. You've seen that flagged in the past where you can tackle somebody, but when you slam them to the ground, like, they kind of flag that a lot. Like, at least I thought they did. I mean, I envision if that was
Tom Brady,
Rodgers, Mahomes, and I hate to be like that and kind of, but it's true. Like, if there's any one of those guys, I feel like that flag would have came out.
Yeah, definitely Brady and Rodgers. I think when you start to get into more of the mobile quarterbacks, the more athletic quarterbacks, they tend to not call a lot of those plays, because a lot of these guys have the tendency to break out of the pocket and kill you for yards down the field on their feet. So they treat them more as running backs and less like quarterbacks. But either way, man, we got to protect these players from themselves at sometimes. And Tua shouldn't have been in that game. And honestly, hopefully they do right going forward by him.
Yeah, we'll see. I know the NFLPA wasn't happy. They've discussed, like, even bringing lawsuits towards, whoever the people responsible for him being back out there. They fired the what was it, like the independent neural consultant or whatever. Yeah. They fired him yesterday, and they didn't mention specifics, but they just said there was a bunch of mistakes that were done. Yeah, in that whole process. So who knows? Maybe, man. Like you said, he shouldn't have been out there to be in that position, and hopefully they learn from it. Hearing Mike McDaniel speak on it a little bit, it does kind of sound like he was in the dark about Tua's true condition. I mean, They said he was tested every day for concussions and symptoms every day leading up to Thursday night, and he passed every one. I mean, some people can pass tests, bro. Like,
yeah, and he got released from the hospital to fly back with the team. Yeah. So obviously there was other medical professionals who felt somewhat comfortable with him doing normal things. So we can't always just assume the worst out of the entire organization when something like this happens. It could be just the wrongdoing of one individual.
It is,
or maybe they just overlooked something. You never know.
Yeah, for sure.
There are some teams that have been historic for having some issues. So
I mean, the Dolphins have their shortcomings a bunch, and it's been well publicized. We've talked about it on the show. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some shenanigans, but at the same time, like, there's so many people whose hands in this. Like, you figure something's got to come out that we knew, or so if they did screw the pooch on this one and there was some shenanigans, obviously they got to come out. And it could just be a doctor is thinking, well, if I keep this guy, if I make sure he's in the game and I make them happy, I might still get paid from the NFL or whatever. It's a Thursday night game. There's that too. It's like Amazon Prime's new Thursday night football. We got to have good matchups, and Tua versus Burrow is better than Bridgewater versus Burrow.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully there's none of that going on, but you never know, man. And it's probably the case. You're probably right. But hopefully for McDaniels, what he says is totally true. He wasn't involved or didn't know anything in regards to his evaluation. So, sometimes when you just get fed information as a coach, you go with it and expect that the professionals that the organization has in place do their job.
Yeah, you sometimes have to trust your staff and trust people above you and below you to get their jobs done and doing it right.
Yeah, and because I don't want anything negative to happen towards him. He's a young coach. He's doing his thing. He's a Colorado boy.
Yeah, Smoky Hill,
Aurora, Colorado. So shout out to him. Man, but some heavier news to talk about this next one.
Yeah, man.
The industry of hip-hop, man. One of the greats took his fantastic voyage to a gangster's paradise, man.
I like what you did there.
And rest in peace, Coolio.
Shout out to Coolio, man.
He unfortunately passed away on September 29th. Sheila Finnegan tells TMZ, "We are saddened by the loss of our friend and client, Coolio, who passed away Wednesday afternoon. He touched the world with the gift of his talent and will be missed profoundly. Please have Coolio's loved ones in your thoughts and prayers." We definitely have him in our thoughts and prayers here. Growing up in the 90s, Coolio was one of those guys that
for sure
everybody knew. You listen to his music, you seen him on TV, you seen him in movies, you know what I mean? Like, he just did his thing.
Dude, I remember when his video for Fantastic Voyage came out. That video was so dope, bro.
Yeah.
The freaking Impala he's rolling through in that video. I must have been like middle school Al.
Yeah, everybody knows those dreads.
Yeah,
sticking out the top, those braids looking Coolio-ish. Everybody wanted to emulate his style too, as well. You know what I mean? So,
well, and he did that. He his production was a lot of that 80s and 70s remake. You know what I mean? So like, he did Too Hot, which was Cool in the Gang originally, and that was a dope song. Gangsta's Paradise was cool. I used to have that Dangerous Mind soundtrack.
Yeah,
that soundtrack was all right. Went back
as I walked through the valley of the shadow of death.
They were just showing him on Howard Stern. I saw a video, him and the young man that sung the chorus on that song, and they were doing that song live on Howard Stern. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So law enforcement sources tell TMZ that no drugs or drug paraphernalia were found at the scene of Coolio's death. An autopsy and toxicology report tests will be used to determine an official cause of death. And then paramedics were called to the house in Los Angeles around 4 p.m. for a medical emergency, and they got there. They pronounced Coolio dead on the scene. We're told by the police they've opened up an investigation, but as of right now, there does not appear to be any signs of foul play. Sometimes...
Yeah, natural causes.
Natural causes, things happen, and unfortunately that may be the case in this situation,
He was 59, which I didn't realize how old he was. Like, he was 59 years old, so he's been around for a bit, man. Again, it's super sad to see some of the people we saw growing up and we came up with growing up starting to pass away, and it always makes you think about your own life and make sure you got your ducks in a row and make sure you're doing things the right way, man. Shouts out to Coolio. I've seen him live before. It was a little past his prime when I saw him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad show. He still was doing his thing and still giving it up. Them dreadlocks was just holding on. But he was dope, man.
He's still sticking through the ball cap.
Yeah, man. He's dope, man. He's gonna be definitely be missed, but thankfully, when we lose these artists, we have their art to appreciate still, and we still have a bunch of his art to listen to and appreciate, man. So I'm definitely gonna make sure when I take my ride home today, I'm listening to some fantastic Voyage.
Yeah, man. He was in good spirits up to the point of his death. And he actually just had a show, which would go down in his last show with Vanilla Ice.
Oh, wow.
Vanilla Ice and him had a show in Texas.
That's what's up.
So, two of hip-hop.
90s hip-hop.
90 hip-hop guys,
I bet that was a fun show because I bet crowds still come out. We're fun people, bro. Folks in our age demographic, they're fun people. I don't care what no one says. These younger cats don't know how to get down like we do, and them old cats got down too wrong. So we're the dopest ones. But them parties are always fun, man. I went to Atmosphere last year in Lupe, and that's more our demographic in terms of age wise, and that was just a fun, peaceful, everyone loved it out here celebrating, having fun in the name of hip hop type show. So
yeah, none of these knuckleheads running around here with all this violence.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately that'd be the days of the times and whatnot. But speaking about having some knuckleheads, I was reading the craziest story, Dom, and I wanted to. It's not sports related. So I wanted to bring it to the podcast to see what you thought about it. Okay. I'm just going to read you the headline real quick, and then we'll react, and I'll go through the story. The headline reads, and this is off of the Daily Star, so you can take what you want with it. Headline reads, Metaverse children to replace real kids by 2050 and help with overpopulation.
That's crazy.
Yo, so this is, again, a story from the Daily Star, and in it, they talked to this author and AI expert, Catriona Campbell, okay? And it's basically talking about virtual kids born in the metaverse could become more common in the next 50 years. She believes parents will want to care for digital children in virtual reality using a headset to feel like they're really there with the CGI kid. Virtual kids would be just the real thing, but you could turn the switch off on the button. And these are all direct quotes from her, bro. I like that idea because sometimes when kids be crazy and you just want to hit the off button or the mute button, like pause or something.
Yeah.
Tons of parents would definitely love that one in real life. Campbell argues that it'll help the world deal with overpopulation. In her book released this year, Campbell says a Tamagotchi generation. You remember Tamagotchis?
Yeah.
The little digital, yeah.
Yeah, you had to feed them.
Yeah, and you had to care for it.
Yeah.
She believes the Tamagotchi generation will be born and be available to parents for a small monthly fee. There you go. Small monthly fee, Don.
I'm good.
In her book, she says, virtual children may seem like a giant leap from where we are now, but within 50 years, technology will have advanced to such an extent that babies which exist in the metaverse are indistinct from those in the real world. She adds, we're already well on our way to creating a Tamagotchi generation, which for all intents and purposes will be real to their parents. On the basis that consumer demand is there, which I think it will be, AI children will become more widely available for a relatively small monthly fee.
That's crazy, man. Everybody that has kids, right, goes through these phases as their kids get older of where they start to have the baby fever.
For sure.
I don't. I'm good with my 2 kids. I don't need any more kids. I'm very happy with what I have. My kids are great. They're wonderful. And I don't need to replace them with a robot, bro. Like, this technology
Just go buy a dog.
It's getting crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. If I can get a couple of these kids recruited to play on a football team and I could enhance, like Madden, enhance their skill set, now we might have something to talk about. But
Going to meta college.
yeah, we have robo leagues of football.
Well, that brought up a question for me because it's set on the basis of the demand which there is likely to be. All AI children become widely available for a small monthly fee. Does your digital kid die if you don't pay your monthly fee? Like, whenever times get hard, man, you can't afford to pay that monthly fee.
Is that considered neglect?
It's the kid or Netflix, bro. Like,
and then at that point, is that considered neglect? And do you face criminal charges?
you go to the can in the metaverse.
Yeah,
dude, for real though.
No, seriously, like, it's getting crazy. Like,
well, and there's already been like litigation about, and this is kind of off the subject, but like sex and like sexual harassment and sexual abuse in the metaverse.
Yeah,
like to like someone's digital character, you know. So like,
that's crazy.
At what point does metaverse versus real life, metaverse penalties versus real life penalties, where does it cross over? You know, and it's crazy to think about, bro, that we're moving to this like digital lifestyle where nothing's real and we won't even be interacting with real people, bro. We'll just be, hey, we're gonna do the podcast. Dom, put your goggles on. I'll put mine on. Boom, we're there and we're doing the show in the metaverse, bro. Like,
live somewhere,
live on your internet. I can't do that, bro. Like, I love people. Like, I don't love people, but I love people. I love my people.
Yeah,
you know, I love interacting with my people. The idea that the world population become dangerously overpopulated isn't necessarily supported by data. In this story, it points out that although the global population is set to continue increasing over the next century, it is due to eventually flatten out or slow down. It's already been happening in like countries in the West, like Britain, which have an aging population but declining birth rates. And that in the UK specifically, that means the population is set to start declining in 2025 and begin shrinking. Population growth tends to slow in post-industrial societies as contraception becomes more readily available and more women enter the workforce. That's according to the article. Again, I don't know that I see this happening, although we tend to go with technology all the way, so I wouldn't be surprised. But
it's crazy with technology, right? Like why are we, like, we want technology and we wanted to allow it to make life a little bit easier on us, right?
Facts.
And a little bit more accessible to us at our hands. But it seems like we're making technology now to the point where it's replacing us and taking over, and it's just kind of crazy, man. So I don't know. It's a crazy world we live in with technology.
Well, again, like Elon Musk just like sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Dom. Elon Musk just introduced his humanoid bot, to the world. Like you said, bro, like this shit's starting to cross over a little too much. It's getting a little scary there.
Yeah, I would own a robotic dog or a lizard or a snake or something, but never a child.
I'm good with my phone and my computer. I don't need to get much more technologized than that. I guess if that's a word. I don't know. We already live in an altered and digital reality, so with people fronting on social media, acting like they something, and you know, they're really not, or standing in front of a car that ain't theirs, like, this is my car. No, it ain't your car, dog. So
see, what technology needs to do is be able to call it cap when it's cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when these people are posting pictures with money that ain't theirs or with shit that ain't theirs, it should automatically like copyright that shit and they can't post it.
Talk about like, you know how there was all these disclaimers for like COVID and vaccine information on Facebook and Instagram and all that. They should have that same shit for just real life situation, right? You walking around saying, yeah, I did this, this, and this, and then just a big old cap just shows up on your, like a hologram of a cap shows up above your head. It's like, that motherfucker's lying.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yo, bro, you can't feed me a bunch of BS, dude. Like, I know what the deal is here. You want us to stay home and be subject to our technology, and you know everything's kind of more controllable with that. You pull the plug on the metaverse, you might pull the plug on a lot of people's life. So
yeah, that's
you can't feed me that. But what you can feed me
There you
What
go.
you can feed me
There you go.
is some Janice's Catering. And right now, I want to give a shout out to Janice's Catering. If you're looking for a catering service for your event, I highly encourage you to give Janice's Catering a try. It's a family-run company featuring a Mexican-American cuisine, from enchiladas to street tacos to fajitas. Man, they throw it down. Delicious green chili, all the fixings from small gatherings to large events. There's no job too big or too small for Janice's Catering. Weddings, birthday parties, anniversaries, funerals, business lunches, graduations, any event, make sure you hit up Janice's Catering. Find them on Facebook at Janice's Catering Colorado, or give them a call at 303-669-2215. That's Janice's Catering Colorado. Dom, we haven't done this for a while.
No, man, but it's overdue. We need to do it. Colorado football is why essentially both of us are here. You know what I mean? So we got to show love when love is needed to be shown, and it's time for another player spotlight. Coach, who you got?
I got Braden Dorman from Vista Ridge High School.
Okay.
Currently, he's ranked in some rankings as the number 2 recruit out of Colorado. He's a senior out of Vista Ridge High School in Colorado Springs. He's already having a great year. He's leading the state in passing yardage, and has been up amongst the state leaders all year long. Looking at 6 games played, 122 completions out of 171 attempts. That's a 71% clip for anyone that's good with math. 1,957 yards, 26 touchdowns to just 6 interceptions. Having a great senior season. He's had a great career, though, over almost 8,500 yards passing in his career, 93 touchdowns in his career, over 619 completions. The dude's dropped back and thrown it 999 times. I mean, he's had a pretty stellar high school career that'll be coming to an end here shortly. I believe he is committed to Arizona. So University of Arizona is getting them a 4-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports. Definitely super excited to shout him out. It's always good to see Colorado kids doing their thing, man, and to be highly rated and be highly sought after like that. It's definitely a big accomplishment. So once again, shout out to Braden Dorman, quarterback out of Vista Ridge, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Big ups, dude.
Yeah, man. What a great kid you highlighted there for sure. My guy I'm going to breathe some light onto is actually class of 2024.
Oh, nice.
Number 1 recruit, running back from Christian Ballard, Gabe Sawchuk. This kid's a 3-star recruit. Again, as a junior. Excuse me. He stands 5'10", 175 pounds. Kid is a stud. He's a touchdown machine. He has 17 rushing touchdowns, 52 yards per game, 224 carries. Kid's a beast, man. Yeah. He's just doing what he needs to do at a young age. He plays for a good program. He's being recruited right now by Arizona State, Colorado, Northern Colorado, and USC. So he hasn't committed to anybody, obviously, as he shouldn't. As a young man, he's kind of leaving his options open.
That's interesting that you say USC. His brother, Gavin Sawchuk, went to Oklahoma. He's a freshman in Oklahoma this year. He was a senior last year. Was the number 1 recruit out of Colorado last year. And he was recruited by Lincoln Riley to Oklahoma. Of course, Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma, went to USC. So it's curious that, Lincoln has some familiarity with the Sawchuk family. So it'd be interesting to see if he winds up at USC. Would love to see him here in black and gold with Colorado. They can use all the talent and help that they can get. He's a good running back for Valor, man. They use him a lot.
Yeah, I know the University of Northern Colorado needs him the most, but that's probably the lowest on his list of where he would like to go out of those schools. USC right now has 2 commits from the running back position, and they have 5 running backs currently. So I think, there's not a lot of room there, but you never know how things progress in a year.
Yeah.
So,
well, now with the transfer portal and stuff too, bro, like you can, if you're not happy, you can hop into the transfer portal and go somewhere else. So, who knows?
CU only has 1 commit going in from the running back position. So,
bro, they're desperate.
They need a lot of help. They do have a lot of running backs on the roster currently, but again, they're not performing. So
they just, man, like they need all the help they can get, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not a bad thing to have a lot of talent, and even
No.
with USC, as many as you mentioned, I remember when they had Reggie Bush and Lindale White going, and Reggie would come, you get these spectacular long runs, and Lindale would come finish it up, and so it's never a bad thing to have a bunch of talent. I think that team also had Joe Knight on it, which you talk about 3 running backs that went first or second round in the draft. Like, it's pretty incredible. I'd stack up backs any day, man. I treat it like fantasy football.
Yeah, for sure.
But shout out to Gabe Sawchuk, though. That's definitely worth following this year. Not only this year, but next year too, and seeing where that goes.
He's had a good career. Again, 17 total touchdowns throughout his career, and he's been playing for Valor since as a freshman. Coming out as a freshman playing for a school like that has to say a lot for the kid's ability. So as he's progressing year in and year out, he's just hopefully gonna reach his goals that he has for himself. So great job, man.
Shout out to the Sawchuk family too, man. It's dope to have one son that come out and go to Oklahoma, and then you got another son in a couple of years that'll be going to, likely a D1 school. And if he goes over to USC, I mean, that's a D1 powerhouse, up and coming powerhouse, and if he goes to CU, that's a up and coming soon powerhouse. But we'll be interested to see what happens at CU at the end of this year. I'm not sure they're gonna bring Doral back, but either way, he's got some options, and it's shout out to that Sawchuk family, because I bet that's pretty freaking cool seeing your kids just shine at that level.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Put a big old smile on their face.
Yep.
Speak. Like the segue, Dom?
I do.
We're about to go into some craziness I saw. And I don't know if you've been watching. I watched some baseball, and I've been watching a lot with Aaron Judge going. I don't know if you notice these people that are just standing there or sitting there, and they got these creepy smiles on their face. You seen that?
I have, bro. I've been seeing it all over. So it's funny, right? This movie's coming out, and I actually do this all the time to people. In my office at work, I'm surrounded by 2 glass windows. So whenever I notice somebody walking by, or I walk by those windows, I just give them a creepy smile. And everybody's always freaked out about it. So when I seen this movie and their marketing campaign, bro, it's just been freaking phenomenal.
So if you haven't seen this, people at baseball games, if you haven't seen these people at baseball games with these scary looking smiles, these kind of creepy looking smiles, summer's nearly over, which means it's time to transition into some spooky season. I know you're about to do your Halloween stuff today and get your yard all right.
2 last night with the family.
I'm going to have to watch that with you, I'm going to bite the bullet and watch it.
Hey, it wasn't
it's not my
bad.
thing. No.
It's not my thing either, but it wasn't bad.
Beth Midler makes my skin cringe.
Okay, well, she doesn't do that to me, but...
I'll just I'm just trying to find excuses so I can tell you so I can't watch it, but I'll probably watch it with her tonight. I won't be a dick. But, so baseball appears to be doing a little bit of getting their spooky season going before October. As MLB fans have noticed, people sitting in stock still behind the home plate, just chilling, smiling with a creepy looking smile on their face during the whole game.
Yeah.
And it's not even just, it's just not moving, just sitting there smiling.
How much you think they get paid for that?
I don't know, bro. The creepy smiling people wearing a bright smile shirt, they're paid actors promoting the movie Smile that came out on the 30th. I don't know. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Could you hold it together the whole time?
I think I could.
Yeah?
I think so.
Man, I don't know.
But,
I might crack up laughing, bro.
You should, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely Google it, YouTube it, whatever you have to do. Go check it out. It is very creepy. It's very funny to see.
I think I posted it on the gram reaction, too.
But check it out on our Instagram. It's definitely something to see. It has me intrigued. I'm gonna go see the movie. The minute I saw the trailer for it, I was like, I'm there. So.
It seems like they've been focused on specific markets with it, because they've only done it in Los Angeles and New York and some of the larger markets. These teams have their regional sports networks. They appeared behind home plate for the Yankees and Red Sox, which was during the lead up to Aaron Judge chasing 61.
What if they just follow the Yankees around now? Since Judge, it'd be smart, right? Since he's getting the publicity that he's getting follow around.
Dude, that's why when I saw
holla
that, I
at
was
me.
like,
I'll teach you how to, do your thing. You're already doing great marketing,
bro, they're already there.
You could use us.
I'm sure they're already there. They were just
They need
just
us
there.
too. They need us too.
Wow,
Quit downplaying us.
DNASportsDenver.com. Hit us up, Smile.
Yeah.
It's creepy as hell though, bro. Smile is an upcoming horror film from director Parker Finn that is being distributed by Paramount Pictures. It appears to draw inspiration from a combination of The Ring and It Follows. And the premise is seeing something will kill you within a week. The It Follows aspect is that it's treated like a virus in conversation. So that's kind of like a little bit what the movie is. But this isn't the first time we've seen these kind of guerrilla tactics, especially in baseball. The horror genre is no stranger to guerrilla marketing. The Blair Witch Project, which had one of the most famous marketing campaigns of all times, is credited with ushering in the age of internet marketing. Its website showed interviews of people discussing students who had gone missing, and there was debate of whether the movie was fictional because of the found footage aspect. It also created the legend of the Blair Witch, which took hold because of people's unfamiliarity with the tactic. Paranormal Activity took a different tactic, using live footage of audiences reacting to fear in their movie. It's like you said, it's brilliant strategy, bro. These people definitely look creepy as fuck, and I don't know if I see one sitting behind me just smiling, bro. I'd be kind of, what's this weirdo about to do, especially in the age we live in.
Well, it's going to make you Google it too, right? It's going to make you look the movie up, whether you're into horror movies or not.
I think once you find out that it's a movie thing, yes. But I think if you just see someone, because not everyone's wearing the yellow Smile shirt.
They're not.
Like there's one.
Well,
dude,
there's going to be copycat people who just do this now.
And that's the scary part, bro, because people are crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how do you react to that, dude? If I get this like creepy looking person just smiling behind me and I'm with my kids or something, dude, like.
Smile back. They do say that. I think it's like 90-something% of people you smile back directly at you.
It's true. My brother-in-law was mentioning some sort of theory like that, but with a high five. And that if you walk by people and you throw up a high five, dude, most people are going to high five you. Like they
even
won't.
In the COVID era?
Wow, this is pre-COVID, so I don't know.
We should go around with the camera.
Just run around just high-fiving folks. Like, come on. Shout out to my bro-in-law Isaiah for that one. But, yo, like you said, this makes me want to kind of see the movie. I think I want to go check it out. Remind me of some Purge type shit, and I'm with it. Like,
I'm there, bro. It looks good. Hopefully it's not too cheesy, but we'll see.
It's probably gonna be cheesy. It's horror flicks, dude. Horror flicks are supposed to be cheesy.
I know, but
it already sounds like it's gonna be like The Ring.
Well, there's parts of The Ring that weren't too cheesy.
No, just when they open the closet and it's like, I think The Ring was one of the first ones in a long time that kind of got me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was like that flash horror. Like it was like these real quick flash images of scary, weird looking CGI type shit.
Yeah. I'm not really too much of a horror movie guy, to be honest. I turn
You like rom-coms?
Like a fainting go and pass out horror movies. So,
Dom just chilling and all of a sudden just fall out. Oh, God.
Snoring.
Nah, Coach Dom's a rom-com guy. I bet you like a Sleepless in Seattle type mug. Never even seen it, did you?
Nah, I maybe a long time ago. But I do like me some romantic comedies. Don't be sleeping on me. I'm a married man, but ladies, your boy's a romantic.
I'm not knocking you for that. I'm gonna go watch that movie today with Isala, and that's gonna be my romantic comedy. Was it the Witches one? Hocus Pocus. Yeah, that'll be my romantic comedy for the day.
Yeah.
I'm okay with rom com. I like funny shit. I like comedy. I'm a goofball, dude. I love comedy movies, stand up comedy. Anything like that, dude.
You know what movie I'm like super excited to come out is Avatar 2. I can't wait, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just like waiting for it to come out.
The first Avatar is kind of crazy. The story was cool. I just think the
cinematography
and shit,
and everything in it was just amazing, bro. Like it's one of the best movies put together in that aspect.
Have you ever seen Children of Men?
No.
With Clive Owen? I forget the cinematographer's name, but he's got like two shots that are like continuous shots that are like literally like 5 to 10 minute long shots of just one shot all the way through. It's pretty freaking cool. But Children of Men, kind of, if you get a chance to watch that one, check it out, bro, because it's like a suspense kind of action movie. But it's like a future. It's in the future, but it's not all futuristic, and it's like people have stopped having kids, and like it's been like 18 years since the last person was born.
And they got those robots now?
No, there's no robots or none of that shit. It's like a post-revolutionary kind of like the world's in chaos, kind of like it is now. But long story short, this character Clive Owens plays is tasked with getting this young lady, this young African immigrant who's in, I think it takes place in like the UK somewhere, getting her to this safe zone because she's with child, she's pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And they treat refugees like crap. So it's like this big fear that they're gonna kill her and take her baby, and there's just all this unknown and uncertainty. It's a really good movie, bro. It's about almost 2 hours long. Fucking action all the way through, dude. You definitely should see it. It's a real cool movie. It's probably about 10 years old now, 15 years old.
I'll check it out.
Not bad, bro. I love movies. There we go. See, we get through it.
Yeah.
Yo,
hey,
what's up?
I was just getting ready to say what you were going to say, man. We had a mailbag question pop up.
Mailbag!
For us. And the question, again, we need to know the names. Put your names out here, guys, so that way we know who's dropping our questions off.
Yeah, I appreciate you for asking, too. Like Coach Tom said, hit that name up there so we can give you some credit.
Yeah. But the question is, who has been the most influential athlete in your life and why?
Damn. Most influential athlete in my life. Dude, I'm gonna have to say MJ, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
For all the wrong reasons too. It's all sports related, but I think everything that I've learned in sports kind of ties back to real life. I think just growing up watching MJ play and watching him hoop and be the GOAT, and I mean the dude was relentless. He had a high demand out of himself. And then equally held his teammates to a high demand. And I think just as a coach, I see the value in not only holding yourself to high standards, but holding your team and your coaching staff and your friends to high standards, right? Like that translates into life. If you have high standards for your manner of living, you're gonna try chasing a lot more success than you would otherwise. I think. Sure. So I definitely would say MJ, man. He's definitely been super influential in that. And then also just, I mean, the dude can ball, bro. And he's had so many clutch moments. And, again, it speaks to his quote about all the shots he's missed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But he's took the shot. Yeah. Like he's never been afraid to take the shot. And I think it goes the same thing in life. There's always been risk and, uncertainty with some of the things that we do. But that doesn't mean that you can be afraid to take that shot and take that risk. Like sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do in the face of adversity.
Yeah, man. MJ was definitely the GOAT.
The GOAT.
You know what I mean? Definitely, especially in the 90s, a lot of us growing up, that's the guy we idolize. That's who we call the GOAT. A lot of the young kids call LeBron the GOAT, and there's that debate going on all the time, but they're never going to win it. For all of us, it's MJ, and it's going to be him for forever.
Maybe Kobe, but definitely MJ.
Yeah. For me, this guy, dude, is just reminded me of a lunch pail type of guy. Every day, go to work, do your job in, day out. He's a leader. He's very vocal. And, he really didn't have that many off days throughout his younger days in the league, and then even throughout his older days in the league as he bounced around from team to team. And my guy's Junior Seau, man. Junior Seau I've looked up to since I was a very young kid and just loved his game and how he played the game of football, and not only how he played the game, but how he respected the game.
Yeah.
He's a true Hall of Famer. Played for multiple teams again, like I said.
I always remember him as a Charger.
Yeah, me too. Even though he was with the Dolphins, he was with the Patriots, but, you just always see him in his Charger uniform just doing what he does, kind of like Sean Merriman, right? Yeah. Sean Merriman left the Chargers, and no one ever really remembered him past the Chargers because he had the lightning bolt dance,
Yeah.
you know. But Junior Seau, man, I've looked up to him for years. Like I said, he's just that guy. Regardless of the outcome, he's gonna come and he's gonna do his job. Regardless of how good his teams were, he came and he did his job day in and day out.
A true professional, bro.
True professional of the game. You know, unfortunately, you know, his life
Ended a little too soon.
Ended too soon. Rest in peace to him, but he will always be remembered and he would always be looked up to, and I will always use him as a coaching tool for young kids that I coach going forward, because he was somebody that you would want your athletes to
His
model
whole
their
story,
game
the whole
after.
background, everything, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, he's probably my greatest. He's my GOAT linebacker.
Yeah.
He was spectacular. We're spoiled because we live in Denver. They're in the AFC West. The Broncos play the Chargers 2 times a year. A lot of regional action would involve the Chargers. See the Raiders playing the Chargers all the time. So we got to see him a lot, man. And me being a Dolphin fan when he was there for the short time, and then when he was with the Patriots, I get to see him a lot. He was one of my favorite linebackers. Just his, like you say, his lunch pail mentality.
Yeah.
Get the job done, bust your ass, work hard, and reap the benefits. I mean, there's no one that's a better example of hard work paying out, man. Like, just his whole story is an awesome story.
And, you know, as of who's growing to also be very influential in my life, but also has been very hated by me in my life, and we talk about him all the time, man, but we have to put him in this conversation, Tom Brady.
Yep.
I mean, the guy was a 6th-round draft pick, skinny, lanky kid no one thought was going to be nothing coming out of Michigan. Wasn't really anything at Michigan, you know, didn't have this spectacular career. And he's just the true professional again. He comes to work. He does what he's supposed to do day in, day out, film study. He does his job so much to the point later in his career now they're giving him PTO time.
Yeah.
They're giving him Wednesdays off of practice
Take the day off, Tom.
because he's just the ultimate professional and he takes care of what he needs to take care of in the time that he needs to take care of it in. And he's done this with all the backlash year in and year out. Everybody always has something to say about the Patriots. Everybody always has something to say about Tom Brady. But he just uses it as a chip that he puts on his shoulder, and he goes out there and he performs and he wins games and he wins championships, and he is the main piece to ingredient of great football teams.
For sure. For sure.
And so, you know, shout out to Tom Brady. Even with it, just shows young kids that even regardless of what other people think about you, regardless of what other people say about you, as long as you do your job and you study what you're supposed to do in your job, you'll be successful.
Yeah.
So
I'll give a little honorable mention as well. And I don't even necessarily say this person influences me, and I can't stand his game, but I respect him. And that's LeBron James.
Yeah.
I don't like his game. I think he whines a little too much, and I don't agree that he's the GOAT, but he's the GOAT of this generation for sure. And I think just at a young age, he had the expectations of the world.
Yeah.
And to follow through on that, there's something to be said about that, dude, because you see so many people that come through with high expectations that just crumble. And from the onset, from the get-go, his rookie year, he won Rookie of the Year, which that could be debated because Carmelo had a better season and he got his team to the playoffs. But we ain't gonna go there.
Yeah,
but
we're Nuggets fans too. So.
This is true. But he's just constantly. It's going into his 17th or 18th year in the league, and he's just constantly grinding and putting the work. Makes people around him better, and I think that's what you want as from an influential leader. You want him to be able to make people around you better. As he's gotten older in his age, he's not able to do the things that he used to do so easily, but he'll still snap on people for a good game here and there and be great. Lakers scare me this year like crazy because they can either be like last year and be horrible, or they can find out how to put it together and make a run. And us being Nuggets fans, like we said, that's always who we look at of who we're going to have to go through to get there, right? They're one of those teams that we mentioned. Okay, Lakers, Golden State, they're always up there. So shout out to LeBron in that aspect where he's very influential on this generation of athletes. He tries to be influential in other areas of his life, that being that he has a platform to do so.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with a lot of what he says a lot of the time. But at the same time, like, I do respect the fact that he's been able to be under the spotlight for so long and deliver.
Yeah, and regardless of what you think about him, he's influential and a leader amongst men. There's
sure.
a lot of other high-end athletes in multiple sports that look up to LeBron and what he does, and he's a leader. He is King James at this point, and he does great things off the court as well, and on the court he does phenomenal things. So he is one of those guys, and I'm gonna drag this on a little bit more.
That's all right. We need to fill the time anyway.
One guy who a lot of kids should look up to, a lot of young athletes should look up to. He had a good career, but he made sure that he made a promise to his relatives that he was going to get a degree, and he went back even through playing and got his degree and was an ultimate professional on the fields and is an intelligent student and an intelligent man. Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep. Larry Fitz was a
man.
He was that dude.
Yeah, dude. He was just, if you played against him, you game planned for him. He was phenomenal on the field. His hands are ridiculous. His route running is precise. And again, like I said, he made a promise as a young kid that football wouldn't derail him from getting a degree.
Yep.
And for you young kids, you need to realize that football isn't the end-all, be-all. So for a athlete like this to go back to college to make sure he finishes out his degree, and then he even furthered it and kept getting more degrees, right? That shows you the type of dedication all you athletes really should have in yourself.
Yep.
Right? Football is for everybody else. Education is for yourself. Make sure you go back and do it.
Well said, Coach. And we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up. But before we do, I just wanted to pull out this phone real quick and give you a little fantasy football update. You're losing, dog, and it's not good.
Hey, it's all right, but you have a lot of your players playing. I haven't had anybody playing, but we're okay.
I mean, I got 3 gone, and you got 2 gone, so okay.
Yeah,
but
my quarterback also did get knocked out.
Yeah, we touched on that. That's very unfortunate. But, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So, I'm not going to complain about it too much. I feel bad because it's my team, and freaking now we're going to be with Teddy Bridgewater. But, it is what it is.
It's all good, man. Football happens that way sometimes.
Yo, before we get out here, though, shouts out Arsenal Custom Apparel, Rebel Promotions, Black Sevens, Janice's Catering, DNA Sports Training. If you haven't booked a training session with us yet, make sure you get one booked in. Visit the website, dnasportsdenver.com. Book a training session. Hit us up on a question. Buy some merch. Say what up to Coach Dom. Make sure you hit up our socials, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. What am I missing?
Nothing.
Anything?
Nope. Like, share, subscribe. Like you said, hit us up, man. Shouts out to everybody that's worked with us. Arsenal Custom Apparel, Rebel Promotions, Black Sevens, Janice Catering, Lash All Beauty, and DNASportsDenver.com.
Shout out to your coaches out there. Get it in, man. Make sure you lead these kids in the right direction. On that, we out this month.